Ladies and gentlemen, there is something extraordinary about a woman who carries the evidence of God's hand upon her life. She is not measured by the wealth she holds, the beauty she displays, or the applause of the world. She is known by the unseen strength, the unshakable faith, and the peace that flows from within. These are not ordinary qualities. They are divine markers of a life favored by the Almighty. When a woman walks with these signs, she carries more than just grace, she carries destiny. These signs do not fade with age, nor do they depend on circumstances. They are the marks of heaven's favor. A woman with unshakable faith is not defined by what she sees, but by what she believes. When life becomes uncertain and the ground beneath others seems to tremble, she stands tall because her roots are deep. Her trust is not in temporary things, not in what can be lost or shaken, but in something eternal and unmovable. When the winds of trouble rise, she does not panic because she knows that storms do not last forever. She has learned that faith is not built on comfort. It is forged in fire. The challenges she faces are not there to destroy her, but to shape her, to make her stronger, and to reveal the greatness that lives within her. She has gone through nights when tears were her only language and mornings when hope seemed distant, but she never gave up. She learned that faith is not a feeling. It is a choice to believe even when nothing makes sense. It is the quiet confidence that no matter how dark it gets, light is coming. This woman knows that setbacks are not the end, but setups for greater things. She understands faith is like a muscle, and it grows stronger when it is used. So she does not run from trials. She faces them with courage, knowing that every test can become a testimony. She carries herself differently because she has seen God work in her life before. She remembers the times when she thought she couldn't make it, and somehow she did. Those moments taught her to trust even when she doesn't have all the answers. It is about trusting the one who controls it. Her heart is steady not because she is free from fear, but because she knows that fear cannot dictate her decisions. She has learned to silence the voices of doubt by speaking words of faith. She does not complain about the mountain before her. She speaks to it. She does not collapse under pressure. She prays and presses on. She knows that every promise has an appointed time and that patience is proof of trust. This woman's faith is not limited to the good days. She praises in the valley just as she does on the mountaintop. Her gratitude is not dependent on what she sees, but on what she knows, that everything is working for her good. She believes that what is meant for harm can be turned into something beautiful. Her faith makes her bold, fearless in the face of uncertainty. She dares to dream big, not because she is confident in her strength, but because she is confident in the one who gives it. Her life becomes an inspiration to others, showing them that faith can move mountains, open doors, and create paths where there are none. Even when she is misunderstood or underestimated, she stays the course because she knows that blessings often come after battles. She is not easily swayed by opinions or shaken by disappointments. She lives with an assurance that she is never alone, that help is always near, and that victory is certain, even if it doesn't arrive on her timeline. A woman who walks in peace and wisdom carries a presence that cannot be ignored. Wherever she goes, the atmosphere changes because her spirit is calm and her mind is steady. She is not easily rattled by the chaos around her because she has learned that true strength is found in quiet confidence. When others are quick to speak, she pauses and listens. When the world rushes, she moves with purpose and grace. Her peace does not come from the absence of problems, but from a deeper understanding that every situation can be handled with clarity and patience. This peace is not weakness. It is power under control. It is the ability to stay calm when storms rage, to keep her heart steady when everything seems uncertain, and to respond with wisdom instead of emotion. She knows that every word spoken has the power to heal or to hurt, to build or to destroy. And that is why she chooses her words with care. Her wisdom is not simply knowledge. It is discernment. She sees beyond what is obvious and understands that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every opinion is worth proving, and not every invitation is worth accepting. She is not controlled by pride or fear, but by insight and understanding. When challenges come, she doesn't react in panic. She seeks direction and clarity before she moves. People may come to her for advice because they see that she does not judge quickly or speak carelessly. Her wisdom is rooted in experience, prayer, and reflection. Whoa. She knows when to speak and when to remain silent, when to push forward and when to wait. Her calmness becomes a strength not only for herself, but also for those around her. Family and even strangers find comfort in her presence because she carries an assurance that everything will work out in its time. This kind of woman is not swayed by trends or the noise of the world. She does not allow social pressures or opinions to dictate her choices. She values truth and stands by it even when it is unpopular. Her wisdom gives her the ability to see through distractions and focus on what truly matters. When faced with difficult people, she chooses kindness over anger, patience over irritation. She understands that her peace is too precious to be wasted on arguments that lead nowhere. She knows that wisdom is not loud or boastful. It is often quiet, steady, and unshaken. Even in moments of pressure, she finds a way to respond with grace. She turns problems into opportunities and challenges into lessons. Her peace is not passive. It is active, protecting her mind and guiding her decisions. Because of this inner calm and wise spirit, she often becomes a source of light for others. People feel safe to share their burdens with her because they know she will not react in haste or spread their secrets. She has a quiet strength that reassures others that no matter how big the problem, there is a way through it. This woman values harmony and seeks solutions instead of blame. Her wisdom allows her to balance emotions with reason, faith with practicality, and kindness with firmness. She knows when to comfort and when to correct, when to embrace and when to let go. And because of this balance, her life becomes a testimony of grace, strength, and blessing. A woman who lives with purpose and integrity carries a strength that sets her apart from the crowd. She does not wander aimlessly through life, chasing temporary pleasures or the approval of others. She knows who she is and who she is, and that understanding gives her a sense of direction that cannot be shaken. Purpose gives her clarity. It gives her the courage to say no to what is wrong and yes to what is right, even when it costs her something. She understands that not every opportunity is meant for her and not every door that opens is worth walking through. Her life is intentional, filled with meaning because she knows that each day is an opportunity to become a better version of herself and to impact those around her. She does not waste time on things that do not align with her values or distract her from her mission. Integrity is the foundation that keeps her steady. She believes that character matters more than applause, and that reputation means little if the heart is not pure. She chooses honesty even when a lie would make things easier. She keeps her word even when it's inconvenient. She does not compromise her values to fit in or to be accepted. People trust her because they know she stands for something real. When she makes mistakes, she admits them and learns from them instead of covering them up. Her strength comes from living in truth, gives her freedom. Her relationships are healthy because they are built on trust. She does not use manipulation or deceit to get ahead, and she refuses to on others to climb higher. Her victories are clean. Her hands are free of guilt, and that allows her to live without fear of exposure or shame. Living with purpose means she sees challenges differently. She does not give up easily because she knows her life has meaning. When faced with obstacles, she sees them as opportunities to grow. She knows that every difficulty is shaping her into the person she is meant to become. She is not intimidated by setbacks because she understands that setbacks are setups for greater things. Her integrity keeps her from taking shortcuts, and her purpose keeps her moving forward. She is guided by principles, not emotions. She knows when to walk away from things that do not serve her calling. She does not compromise her faith or her values to gain temporary pleasure or success because she knows that real blessings cannot come from compromise. This woman's life is like a light for others. People are drawn to her not because she is perfect, but because she is consistent. They can rely on her because her yes means yes and her no means no. She does not change her colors based on who is watching. She does not need validation from people because she is secure in her identity. Living with purpose and integrity gives her peace because she does not live a double life. She is the same in private as she is in public, and that kind of authenticity is rare. Her purpose drives her to make a difference, whether in small acts of kindness or big moments of leadership. She inspires others to rise higher, to be better, and to live lives of meaning. Her strength is not loud or boastful, but it is undeniable. Her life reminds the world that a woman who knows where she is going and refuses to compromise on the way there is a woman who is truly blessed. A woman who serves with a grateful heart carries a rare kind of beauty that cannot be manufactured or imitated. She understands that true greatness is found not in being served, but in serving others. Her joy does not come from how much she receives, but from how much she can give. Whether she has little or much, her heart remains open, generous, and ready to pour into others. She does not wait until everything is perfect before she gives her time, her kindness, or her resources. She knows that gratitude is not a feeling that comes after blessings. It is a posture that welcomes blessings. She looks at what she has and chooses to see abundance rather than lack, which is why she is able to share freely. Her service is not for recognition or applause. It is a reflection of her heart. She understands that when she lifts others, she is lifted too. When she gives encouragement, she feels encouraged. When she plants seeds of kindness, she sees a harvest of joy. This woman finds meaning in even the smallest acts of service, a kind word, a helping hand, a smile to someone hurting. She knows these things matter. She never considers anything too small to make a difference. She can see the needs of those around her because her eyes are not fixed on herself. Even when she is tired or carrying her own burdens, she still finds a way to uplift someone else. She has learned that gratitude keeps her from complaining and serving keeps her from becoming self-centered. Her actions are a silent sermon that speaks louder than any words. People remember her because of how she makes them feel valued, respected, and loved. She carries warmth in her presence, and those who encounter her often leave feeling lighter and more hopeful. Serving with a grateful heart does not mean she is without struggles. She knows pain, disappointment, and weariness, but she refuses to let those things harden her heart. Instead, she uses them as fuel to show more compassion to others. She knows what it's like to need help, and that's why she is quick to offer it. She has learned that serving is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It takes courage to keep giving when life is hard, to keep smiling when things are uncertain, to keep loving when love is not returned. But she does it because her heart is rooted in gratitude. Gratitude reminds her that everything she has is a gift and gifts are meant to be shared. Her service creates ripples she cannot always see. A small gesture today could become someone's reason to keep going tomorrow. Her words of encouragement could heal a wounded heart. Her act of generosity could open a door for someone in need. She does not measure the size of her service here, but she measures the sincerity of it. This is why her life is blessed, because she understands that giving is living. She knows that what she pours out will never leave her empty, because a grateful heart is always refilled. This is the kind of woman who changes families, communities, and even generations. Not by titles, not by wealth, but by the quiet power of a heart that finds joy in lifting others. A woman who overcomes trials with strength is a living testimony that resilience is more powerful than circumstances. She has faced moments where life tried to break her, yet she chose to rise. She knows pain. She knows loss. She knows what it feels like to walk through seasons of darkness, but she refuses to let those moments define her. Instead of surrendering to fear or discouragement, she turns her pain into fuel. She understands that trials are not punishments, but pathways to growth, and each challenge is a lesson that shapes her character. She may have cried in the night, but those tears watered the seeds of strength that now bloom in her life. Her scars do not make her weaker, they make her wiser. She knows the difference between giving up and letting go, and she chooses to keep moving forward even when progress is slow. This kind of woman does not live in denial of struggles. She faces them head on. She does not hide from adversity, but learns to endure it with faith and patience. She has discovered that some of life's greatest blessings come after the hardest battles. When she is knocked down, she does not stay down. She gets up with more determination. Her resilience comes from believing that every season, even the painful ones, has purpose. She learns from every disappointment, draws strength from every failure, and keeps hope alive, even when others would have quit. She knows that storms do not last forever, and that every cloud eventually moves. Her attitude toward challenges sets her apart because she sees them as opportunities to prove to herself and to others that she is stronger than she thought. Even when life seems unfair, she keeps her heart soft. She refuses to become bitter because she knows bitterness chains the soul while forgiveness and perseverance set it free. Her ability to overcome makes her a source of hope for those around her. People look at her and wonder how she keeps going, and she silently shows them that strength is not about never breaking. It's about refusing to stay broken. She leans on her faith, her values, and her vision of a better tomorrow. She knows that setbacks are temporary and that the pain of today can become the strength of tomorrow. Even when no one else understands her journey, she keeps walking, trusting that each step is taking her closer to the life she was meant to live. Her life becomes a message to others. She proves that you can endure heartbreak and still love again, lose everything and still rebuild, face uncertainty and still walk forward. She uses every challenge as a stepping stone to a higher place. Her strength is quiet but undeniable. It is seen in the way she carries herself, in the way she speaks, and in the way she never gives up. She does not just survive trials, she grows through them. And in every victory, big or small, she becomes a light for someone else who is struggling. She shows that while pain is real, so is power. While loss hurts, so does healing. And when a woman decides that nothing will break her spirit, she becomes unstoppable. A woman who inspires and lifts others is a rare gift to this world because her life is not centered on herself, but on how she can make a difference in the lives of those around her. She understands that true greatness is not found in titles or recognition, but in the impact one makes on people's hearts. She looks at others not with judgment, but with compassion, seeing potential where others might see flaws. Her words have power because they come from a place of sincerity and encouragement. She does not tear people down to feel secure. She builds them up because she knows that lifting others never diminishes her own light. Instead, it multiplies it. Wherever she goes, people feel valued, seen, and understood because she carries an atmosphere of hope. She believes that a kind word can heal, that a smile can change a day, and a genuine support can transform a life. This woman understands the importance of speaking life into others. She is intentional about what she says because she knows words can either create or destroy. Instead of criticizing, she chooses to inspire. Instead of gossiping, she chooses to encourage. She celebrates the success of others without envy and stands with them in their struggles without judgment. People trust her because they know she genuinely wants the best for them. She is the type of person who will remind someone of their worth when they've forgotten it and push them toward their dreams when they feel like giving up. She knows how to be both gentle and strong, firm yet compassionate. She does not need to compete because she understands that everyone's journey is different and there is enough space for everyone to thrive. Her ability to lift others is not limited to words, it's seen in her actions. She shows up when it matters, supports when it counts, and gives even when it's inconvenient. She sees people for who they are, not just for what they can offer. Whether it's mentoring someone younger, comforting a friend, or helping a stranger, she understands that every act of kindness creates a ripple. She knows that one small gesture can leave an imprint that lasts a lifetime. Her life becomes an example that strength is not selfish, it's generous. She is unafraid to share her wisdom, her resources, or her time because she knows the more she gives, the richer her life becomes. What makes her so inspiring is that she is authentic. She does not pretend to have it all together. She is real about her struggles, but she uses them to motivate others instead of hiding them. She understands that vulnerability is powerful when used to encourage. She lifts others not because her life is perfect, but because she has learned that joy grows when it's shared. People gravitate toward her because they feel safe and motivated in her presence. Her influence is not loud, but it is lasting. Long after she leaves, people remember her kindness, her wisdom, and the way she made them believe in themselves again. This is why she is blessed. Not because life has been easy, but because she has chosen to make her life a source of strength and hope for others. When we look at a woman with these qualities, we see more than just a person. We see a living testimony of grace, strength, and divine favor. She is a woman of faith who believes when others doubt. A woman of peace and wisdom who calms storms with her words. A woman of purpose and integrity who stands firm when the world shakes. A woman of service whose grateful heart touches lives. A woman of strength who rises from every trial. and a woman of influence who inspires and lifts others without expecting anything in return. These are not just traits. They are signs of a life richly blessed. They are the marks of a woman who has chosen a higher path, who lives not for applause but for impact, who gives more than she takes, and who shines even in the darkest seasons. And the beauty of it is this: you don't have to be born with these qualities. They can be cultivated, they can be chosen. They can be lived out every single day. So to every woman listening, you are stronger than you think, more capable than you believe, and more blessed than you realize. Carry these signs with confidence and watch how your life not only transforms you, but becomes a light to those around you. Strength, confidence, grace, these are not just traits some are born with. They are choices. They are actions we can take, mindsets we can embrace, and habits we can live out every single day. For every woman listening, you are stronger than you think, more capable than you believe, and more blessed than you realize. In a world that often tries to define your worth by appearance, achievement, or the roles you play, it's easy to forget who you truly are. But let this serve as a reminder: you were never meant to fit into a mold. You were born to break barriers, to rise from challenges, and to carry within you a quiet power that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like showing up when everything inside you says not to. Sometimes it's choosing grace over anger or getting up after a setback. Strength can be in your softness, your patience, your tears, your persistence. It is not a one-size-fits-all word. It is your story, your resilience, your journey, and capability. You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. Every day you juggle responsibilities, face decisions, and navigate relationships with heart and wisdom. Don't discount the things you do naturally. Don't minimize your effort because it doesn't look like someone else's. You are building something, whether it's a career, a family, a dream, or yourself, and that takes courage. That takes ability. You are also more blessed than you realize. Even in the chaos, there are quiet miracles, people who love you, lessons that shaped you, opportunities waiting to be discovered. Gratitude has a way of transforming your vision. What once looked like an obstacle becomes a stepping stone. What once felt like lack begins to look like preparation. The more you see the blessings, the more they multiply. So carry these signs: strength, capability, gratitude with confidence. Not arrogance, but a grounded confidence that knows who you are and whose you are. The kind of confidence that uplifts others, that opens doors, that sets an example for the women who will walk after you. Because when you walk in your power, you don't just transform your own life, you become a light to those around you. You give other women permission to believe in themselves. You show young girls what's possible. You inspire your sisters, your friends, your community. Every day you have the power to choose how you show up. Choose strength, choose faith, choose joy. Choose to believe that you are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Your life is a message. Make it a message of hope, of empowerment, of grace under pressure. Walk boldly. Speak kindly, love deeply, and never forget your presence in this world matters more than you may ever know.